Hi, it's Chattingtracks. Andy and I are back with something different for you as ever. Now, we love discovering new music. We got a lovely email the other day. Asked us to check out an artist called Ship Says Om and the new album Dream Journal. Andy, fill us in about this a little bit.
Okay, so Ship Says Om is a solo project by the artist Jenny Gillespie Mason, who's based in the San Francisco, Berkeley area. She's got a substantial history of work, including some collaboration with a band called Sis and the Lower Wisdom. Mm-hmm. She's also created a record label, which is quite interesting. It's called Native Cat Recordings, and it's described as a feminist label, which she runs to support other artists. So today we're going to look at her EP. It's been described as a sacred whisper between worlds. This project took her around 2 days to record in her home studio using ambient found sounds, keyboards, guitars and textures gathered from her everyday world.
The EP comes out on Halloween, October the 31st, and we're going to listen to the title track, Summer Day. I hope I said that right. You know what? It's not. I'm getting sort of Hammer horror vibes. You know, like a film soundtrack kind of thing going on there. Like, obviously, I've never heard this one. We scanned the EP, but we didn't listen to it. We just wanted to see what the gist of it was. But I'm getting a sort of Hammer horror. I like the fact that that brooding sound keeps going, and then it sort of just got a little bit louder, and then that it reminded me of like a horse walking. So you know what I mean? Like it's a sort of sound field of a horror movie to me at the minute. And I like how sinister it sounds as well. But yeah, I mean, I find that really intriguing. I just think it's super interesting the way that's moving along and stuff like that. So it's ambient, I take it. So there's not been any vocals coming in. So we've got a lot of ambient stuff going on. So we're using the sound field as the narrative. That'd be interesting. Like those piano notes, they're brooding. Number 9. I'm getting Number 9 vibes by the Beatles as well. You know that sort of soundscape textures where bits are coming in, and then they sound like they're going to start, and then they don't. You get that pullback. Okay. And it reminds me of it's getting that. I've got that Number 9 vibe from it as well, and a certain album which I'll mention once we get through the track, which it could be heavily influenced by this. Would have been influenced by this maybe. I'm really. It's interesting. It's a soundscape, isn't it? It's a soundscape. A really interesting soundscape. I wasn't expecting that turnaround there.
No, it kicked in, didn't it?
Yeah, it kicks in. And then you've almost got like laser effects in it. It's really strange. It's gone from sort of like, dare I say it, it's gone from like medieval England to futuristic England in one step. You've got this real diverse sort of crossover really quickly as well. It's really, wow. I didn't expect that turnaround, that although it did that as well. Because I thought we were going to be brooding, or be quite broody for a long while, but it turned really quick. That's really cool. I like the way that worked. And you got the lovely sound field going on the left and the right when these laser sounds are going across and bits and bobs like that. They're not lasers, obviously, but you know what I mean. You got that sort of movement. Really cool. backwards bit there that sounded like speech. That was really cool. It sounded like it was talking, but it was backwards.
Yeah, there was something a bit Floyd about that.
Yeah, there was a really interesting sound effect there. I like that. Also, Day in the Life by the Beatles.
Yeah.
Right at the end with the radio tuning and stuff like that. I like the laser noises that are now like rainforest sounds. You know what I mean? I wonder if it's been mixed together with like the rainforest sounds.
Yeah,
like,
it's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a bird from the rainforest. Like when you see a documentary and it sounds like that.
Sure.
That's super interesting. If they've mixed that and a laser sound together, that's really, really cool. I like the repetitive part now because I'm getting it in my head. It's drilling into me that da 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 da. You know what I mean? That's getting drilled in now. I think it's really cool. I think it's super interesting. The turnarounds really confuse me every now and again because it's almost like, Mason said it was between a mini journal of a dream state that she found herself during making the records. And dreams do jolt around like that. So first of all, I thought we were going to be meditative for 4 minutes. We were just going to have the same sort of ambient sounds moving in and out. And then it jumps around, which really throws you out. And there's a track called Weightlessness by Marcani Union, I think it's pronounced. And they designed it, and I think it's 15 minutes long. It's designed to help you sleep, and the kick drum does a certain beat, and it slows down, and it makes you drop off. And I've done it, and it knocked me out. It's amazing. And I was getting that sort of vibe from that as well with the looping sort of ambient noises until it jolted in, and then you're like, it wake you up again. So, when I scan some of the album, it's very ambient and sort of relaxing. But this track would be the one that would not. You'd have to put that as a wake up one at the end because that's the one that'll wake you up because it jolts the most, I think. Also, Brian, Music for Airports, the album, it reminds me of that a lot, where it's just a repeating theme, carrying on. But I like it to me because I'm a sound junkie. I found it super interesting because there's lots of sounds going on, lots of things, and you hear these tiny earworms left, right, and centre for me, and that's why I found it quite interesting. What did you think of it, Andy?
So when I listened to it before, I listened to the full EP, but I didn't listen to it through my headphones.
Right.
So I was listening to it externally, and I was underwhelmed, I've got to say. But it does take on a whole new angle when you do listen to it through the headphones. For me, it's a little bit chaotic, but I guess that's what we're going for. If you're looking at dreams and that sort of thing, and if that is what we're looking at, then there's a lot of chaos in dreams. So I can kind of correlate the two ideas there. As a whole, when I listened to this EP, I listened to it a couple of times. I was underwhelmed, unfortunately. It's not really my cup of tea. So I did do a little bit of research on Jenny, and I went back and looked at the Sis stuff, and I actually quite enjoyed that. So there's some good work there, but I'm not sure that I can really get on board with this one. I do appreciate the work that's gone into it. I mean, obviously, to turn this over in 2 days is really quite something. There's some great sounds coming through there, some very interesting stuff, but for me, it just doesn't really tie together, and I think probably that's the point. But I do prefer my music to tie together one way or another. Rob, do you want to play something from Sis and the Lower Wisdom just to get that contrast?
It's a lovely vocal.
Make a change. It's trying to help me know God on this street corner. Look in their eyes.
Yeah, that's completely different as well, because you've got that sort of like, there's still effects in there, but you've got a vocal holding it together, and it's not so chaotic in the sense of. But yeah, again, it's a dream journal, so it's doing what it says on the tin. It's meant to be random, isn't it, and all over the place, and it's not meant to be a comfortable listen in a sense. And that's why I kind of like it, because it is a bit random like that as well. But I like the other one. I like Sis and the Lower Wisdom as well, Center of the Heart. That sounds like a great song as well. I think it would be an interesting listen for anybody for the first time. I think it would be something you've got to be ready for. I think if you just threw it on and was like, "What's this?" I think you would be. You'd be going, what is this? But not in necessarily a bad way. You'd be going, hey, what's going on? Because, it's, like I said, it's a bit Philip Glass. It's a bit like, almost Captain Beefheart to a degree as well, where you've got these random sounds coming in and bits and bobs like that. So I think you've got to be ready for what it is. But it is a really cool, it's a really cool idea. And I like how it works. I think it's quite cool.
Yeah, it's clever.
Anyway, let us know in the comments what you think. The EP is coming out on Halloween, October the 31st, 2025. We'll put a link in the description for that so you can find it as well. We'd love to know your comments. What do you think of this track, of this record? We'd love to know. And we'll be back in, no doubt, with something to review. And if you've not done it yet, please subscribe to the channel or follow us, because it'll massively help us out. We're just dudes that like to talk about music. We could do it all day. And we need your support to do that. Anyway, thanks so much for joining us this one. We had a blast, and we'll see you next time. Love and peace.